take a crazy turn, but I'm just kind of grateful I get to be here and, like, alive. Dude, I didn't think I'd be alive right now.
Yeah?
So dead serious. You asked me 4 years ago where I'd be when I was 20, I said dead.
There was another one.
Awesome. Glad you got that one.
We never fully understand the impact we're going to have. And we just carve our little piece out, and you have, a forest, a hill, a meadow, and life goes away for a while, and then it comes back.
I used to hate it here. Hate it. I mean, I can't think of a part that I really liked. I never felt like I had a place to belong in Vermont.
And if you had the chance to do it again, would you? And additionally, is there anything you would have done different?
I hated being alone in Vermont, did not help with that.
It feels safe here. That's the thing, is that, sitting on this deck, I mean, if we spent the rest of our lives sitting on this deck, would it be that bad? And it wouldn't. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there's so many worse places to live, so many more challenging places, hard places. But it's hard to make a living here. And it's hard to grow here. And, for me, for you, take your time. I lived outside of New York City for a few years. I lived in Boston for a couple of years. I lived in Burlington for, 15 years. Nothing but positivity out of all those experiences. But the thing is that if you have a super stressful day and you come home here, that you can go out and lay on the trampoline. Or you can go to Lowell Lake. You can go to the fields. There are places where you can go where your battery just refills. And you're not surrounded by other people's noise. And I think that is powerful. As we're on the precipice of you going to LA, for an experience, it will be super different. And, you'll be energized and excited and probably working your keister off. But, will it be as easy for you to find those places where you just exhale? And I hope so. I mean, the beaches are great. Pacific Ocean is awesome. There's Northern California with, just Yosemite and all kinds of natural beauty. But it's farther away. I mean, you can go and climb a pretty great mountain here in about 15, 20 minutes. It might be a 2-hour drive out there.
At least.
Yeah, if not more. And, but have your experiences. It's okay to come back to Vermont. Like I said, I never thought I would when I was 18, 19, 20, 22, 25, 27. But at 31, 32, it felt right. And for you have all this time to find that out. And you may go to a place and, you may get off a plane, you may step out of a car, you might just suddenly exhale. You might feel the powerful connection there that you felt here.
It's the kind of place where you can, I think my dad put it best, where you can just exhale. You don't have to go very far to be by yourself here.
What does the money?
And that was really hard. Because I just hated feeling lonely. And part of the reason I resented living in Vermont was because I lived so far away from anyone my age that I just was angry. In a very strange way, I don't know who I am without Vermont. And just in a way of like, I don't know what to do if I can't live in an environment like this for the majority of my life. I never thought I would say that, like, even 6 years ago, as early as 4. But like 6 years ago, I was very vocal about I'm getting the hell out of Dodge when I turn
18 in less than 2 hours.
And now, I don't know what I'm gonna do, period. Like, I know I have to go out to LA at some point. That's just, I have to try. I can't be stuck with the what if I went out to LA. What if everything that I wanted
Was actually out there.
Yeah. And part of it's self-doubt, where it's like, I don't even know if I'm good enough. That's been a hard one to deal with lately. Of just being like, I don't even know if I'm that good at what I do.
I'm going to film. What am I doing?
I'm gonna fuck with your focus.
Oh, why am I looking like that? Oh shit, I'm recording.
Like, there's just so much to do. And I'm just tired. Sometimes it does make me wonder, would staying here be that bad? I don't think it would. I don't know. Sometimes I get worried that Vermont is too deeply ingrained in my identity that I don't know if I could leave.
We'll be right back after the break.
Yeah. I grew up with a father who needed everything done a certain way. I learned to ask exactly how he wanted it, rather than assuming. Always over-communicating to someone who feels like they always have their back turned towards you. That's how I see my dad in my mind, with his back turned. Our most vulnerable selves come out when we're shoulder to shoulder or back to back, always with eyes on looking. I grew up in a lonely town, dirt roads in the middle of woods, 5 to 7 miles outside the nearest town any direction. No kids in age my sight. I grew up just down the road from Hill Farm, where my dad grew up and my grandfather still lives. I grew up being told I looked just like my dad. Sometimes it felt like he passed his life down on to me. There was this subconscious pressure to reflect him, to mirror the things he did the way he did them. I was worried he'd tell me I was doing it all wrong. To add to this, I resist change. I know it's necessary for growing up. I just seem to dig claw marks into everything that leaves me. All of this for a perfect nostalgia storm. It's time to leave home. Time to leave the only place that's ever felt like home. It felt like home, right? It didn't feel like home when I was 11, or 14, or 17. Why now? I think it might be my best friend, Sophie. Sophie feels like home. I feel complete when we're together. It feels like time moves the way it should. We move in sync, our lives entwined in this karmic dance that binds us. When we're together, everything makes sense again. We became best friends in the fields. We spent summer days at the lake. We wandered through the woods together. They took an environment that I loathed and made it to one that I can never look at the same. Vermont from a whole new perspective. Life from a whole new perspective. Learning to be by myself but not lonely. Learning to be myself. Learning to find home wherever I go.
Oh my goodness. My goodness gravy. God, I hope it looks good.
That was a perfect shot.
Oh, that was beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. This is beautiful.